15 for 15, 5 touchdowns, 1 rushing. Were you trying to get out there to set the school record with 6? Did you know?
I didn't know that it was 15 straight completions either until Sat pulled me. And then I found out from Tony Pike on the sideline. I said, Sat, come on, one more. Just let me get one more. And then, because Goody was at 99 yards, we were saying, let's just throw a pop pass to Goody. Let him get a yard for the 100. Let me get the record. Didn't happen that way, but it's fine, I guess. It is what it is.
Do you know anything about Gunnar Keel, the last guy to do that?
I know of him. Obviously, I don't know a ton about him, but I know he was a talented player and, was a good quarterback.
All right, how did it feel out there? Just it looked like 7-on-7.
Yeah, no, it was good. We protected well and we executed. One of the things we, talked about all week in practice was just go out there and execute and, look at the scoreboard at the end of the day and, see where we were. But we knew that, we could come out here and if we executed, we'd like what we saw. But, props to those guys for going out there and blocking and catching the ball.
How would you rate your comfortability as a passer, just being able to hit your marks, being able to stay in the flow of an offense compared to any other time in your college career? I
feel like going into this year, just even like throughout fall camp and spring ball, it's just completely different going into your second year in the system. I think that's been the biggest difference. Obviously in the first game we had a bunch of hiccups. Still could have had some stuff, to boost those passing yards. But, we didn't, obviously, and we bounced back these last 2 games. And, going forward, really confident in both our run and pass game. So it's just our job to continue to stack days and just find ways to perfect what we can and just continue to improve on that because obviously in conference play it's gonna be some shootouts for sure. We know how the offensive play is in the Big 12, so we gotta be ready to go.
On the field, it was 2 different levels, it seemed like, athleticism between you guys and Northwestern State. When you're going up against a team that the talent just is not at the same level, how much can you learn and take away when you watch the tape later this week on that?
You can still learn a lot. Like I said, it all comes down to execution. If you're going out there and you're still messing up and stuff, then that's obviously, not what you want against any team, regardless of talent. So, that was one of the things that I was really impressed with today from our guys was just the execution and, everybody was on the same page. So that's definitely a positive take-away from it. And then, if anybody did mess up, we can go get that corrected as well.
You're a little bit of a video game guy. Did it feel like having Goody out there, like a mismatch in a video game where like if he's on the post, I can throw it as far as I can throw it and he's going to go get it?
Yeah, no. Pretty much any time that he's going to get a chance to run a post, you're really thinking, hey, I might throw this post just with how fast he is. And that second one that he caught, he actually made a really good catch on it. So props to him for that. I thought he had scored on it, but obviously not. And then tried to let Evan Pryor. I told Seth, I said, if you give me a read option at the 1 yard line, I'm handing the ball off regardless because these running backs keep getting on to me for scoring the touchdowns. I said, look, guys, it's not my fault. I gotta earn my touchdowns too. I'm not just walking in the end zone every single time. So maybe you guys got to make some guys miss because Tawi just said something to me on the way out too. So this is my shot at the running backs to get in the end zone, or else I will.
Speaking of the wide receivers, Brendan, obviously a guy like Isaiah Johnson, who has only played football for 2 to 3 years, has a big day for you guys. Obviously, he's kind of overlooked there in the wide receiver room with Jeff, Caleb, Cyrus. What does it mean for him to have a big day and you building that trust with him so far?
Yeah, obviously I get bailed out with a touchdown pass on him doing all the work on a little pop pass, but he is a really talented player, and we stay on him all the time because obviously he's still young in the game. Whenever we're out there practicing and stuff, he's still a young player. So we're always trying to coach him up and stuff, knowing how special he can be. And he was able to showcase that today. But, definitely really happy and impressed with how he performed.
What would be the biggest goals over the bye week to get this offense in an even better spot going into conference play?
I would say just continue to clean up just the mental mistakes, whether, that's just messing up an assignment or something. And then also just the pre-snap penalties. Still too many of those, obviously, and then just continuing to just learn from the mistakes that we make and just try not to make them again, obviously, because whenever we do get into Big 12 play, that can't happen. These games are going to be closer or going to come down to the wire for the most part, so it's our job to eliminate those mistakes and try to move on from them.
Do you watch a lot of Aaron Rodgers film on that play action?
Yeah, that's definitely the inspiration there. I love watching Aaron Rodgers play fake, so And then I always get on to Coach Thomas about letting me do it, and then he always says no, and then I do it in practice. All right, actually, it kind of looks pretty good, so it ends up working out.
Brendan, Ethan makes his first start today at right tackle. What did you think of his performance, and how have you seen him progress and help this offensive line?
Yeah, he played really well today. Obviously, he had that holding penalty, and I knew it too because he was blocking his tail off, and then like at the end, that dude started like kind of, falling away, and I'm like, they're gonna call it, and then I saw the flag, and I'm like, just keep doing what you're doing because he's a really talented dude. He's obviously a monster out there. Just continue to, lift him up and realize that he's obviously not extremely experienced out there with all the playing time, but he played really well today, and I'm excited for what's in front of him.
How beneficial will it be for next weekend to put your feet up and watch football?
Yeah, I'm excited to do that for sure. I love getting a week off from getting hit. So anytime that I can just watch ball, it's always a good feeling. A little less stressful sitting on the couch. So, and then it'll be good for our team as well to just, get back right, get the bodies rested, and be ready to go for conference play.
Any other questions for Brendan? Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.